Okay, I started to do a little shading with my pastels. Again, I'm just layering the pastels, going slowly one on top of the other. I'm using some light colors to add to my blending. I'm using some warm reds. I have a photo that I'm working from right here. Photo of a model right here that I'm working from. I tend to start light and get darker because I can always add other colors. I'm going to add a little bit of maybe purple across here. It's a little bit darker on her cheek. It's easy to get darker, right? It's a little harder to get lighter, though I can just take my lighter colors and where I see a light, I can come back on and add that light on and blend it in. Blend. It's a little lighter through here. I had continued with my pastel pencil that I was using, right? Just to lightly put it down, and now I'm putting my pastels over it everywhere. A little more. She's very pink. A little more red down the bridge of the nose. I'm building that bridge of the nose through value and color instead of line, right? Because our nose is not a linear thing, it's a planar object that's raising up from our face. So that means light will hit it differently. So on this side, instead of doing an outline, this side is lighter. Where's that yellow? I don't really like to use whites a lot. Or blacks very much. If I'm trying to do, sometimes if I have a really bright highlight, like there's a bit of a highlight over here on the face, I might put a little white in. But otherwise I tend to use warmer colors, warm and cools. Maybe we'll move up here to the forehead. And I do tend to go at diagonals. And blend it in a little bit. It's very dark inside the ear here. So I want to maybe put a little bit of blue on top of there. Let's try into blue inside the ear. Oh, too blue. So then I'll put a little red back on top of it. Tone it down. Get some of my lights. Get that translucent area. It's a little highlight underneath the eye. Like that. So I'm just going through and looking for where I see lights and darks. The eyebrow is definitely darker, so I'm going to use a little bit of a darker brown on her eyebrow. The iris is also darker. Hood the eye a little bit, make it darker over in this corner. Maybe a hint of blue over the brown. Makes kind of like almost like a black, but a more naturalistic black when you use a little blue and brown umber mixed together. Makes it darker, but it doesn't make it that kind of dead looking color. And then I'm going to go back in and erase out some of my lights, like it's very light here. I might also put some white in there. Clean up my eyebrow a little bit. This is really light, but it's not quite that. Has a little bit of red. soften it. Now I'm going to use some more of that purple in the corner here. A little bit darker. And I'm going to put a little bit of that blue back over the eyebrow to also make it a little bit darker. I can leave it a texture if I want. I can blend it in, or I can blend it and then add a texture later if I want a texture. This was hair down here, which was very dark, so I'm going to put some blue in there and some brown on top of it. So dark areas I tend to build with browns and blues mixed together. It makes it very rich. Oh, too pink. Where's my... And again, I'm going to, last thing, I'm just going to add a little more erasing. My lightest areas, like right above the eye, there's a light right here. Right in here, there's a dramatic light. Right here, the light. On the